Hello everyone, it is Jazz here. I really felt like doing a book tag today, so I went looking and I found the year-end book Superlative tag, which was created by a book Olive, and I will link you to her video in the description. I really like the idea of doing this tag because I did want to talk about some of the books that I read in 2016, but I didn't feel like I could do like a favorite books of the year video because I liked or loved most of the books that I read last year, and it would be an eternal video. I thought better not do that, but this tag does let me talk about some of the books that I read last year. Let's just go on with the questions. Question 1, most likely to be in the movies, a book that you think would make a really good movie. Ideally, I would love to see Spider-Gwen turned into a movie, even if it was just animated, because I loved Volume 0, Most Wanted of the Spider-Gwen comic. It takes place on an alternate Earth in which Gwen Stacy was bitten by the radioactive spider instead of Peter Parker, and thus she has all the spider powers. Her sense of humor is so great, and the things that are going on with her dad and her friends are very interesting, and of course she's like kicking bad guy butt and all that stuff. I'd love to see an animated film or a live action film of Spider-Gwen, but I have to say realistically, I think the book that would most likely be made into a movie that I read last year would probably be Dumplin' by Julie Murphy, because I, throughout the whole reading, kept thinking that it would be a great indie film or TV movie. It reads in a very film sort of oriented way, and it is a contemporary, so I feel like it wouldn't be very expensive to make. Also, just the situation and the humor of the characters I think would come across probably even better in film than they did in the book. So that's why I kept thinking this would be a fun little just cute movie. If someone does take my advice and decide to make Dumplin' into a movie, please cast Kristen Chenoweth as the mom of the main character in this. Just do that for me, y'all, because she is perfect for it. Yes, I am casting a non-existent movie, but that's just what my brain does sometimes. Number 2, biggest drama queen or king, an overly dramatic book or character. I read books 3 and 4 of the Parasol Protectorate series by Gail Carriger, and thus I feel obligated to say that the winner of this award is Lord Akeldama. He's not very much in book 3, but he was quite featured in Heartless, which was the book 4, and I don't think anybody is more of a drama king than Lord Akeldama. I mean, the man is described as someone who speaks solely in italics, meaning that he's like, my little cream puff, how could you? He's just drama all over the place. Number 3, Best Dressed, a book with a fabulous, beautiful cover. So I decided to go with Peter and the Shadow Thieves, which is the second book in the Peter and the Starcatcher series. Not only is this a very lovely cover, but you guys know that I love it when I take off the dust jacket and there's something fabulous underneath, and this is just lovely. I love the pattern of the background and how it's got little stripies on the side here. So I had to give it to this one. Number 4 is Most Creative, a book that was unique in terms of the plot, the characters, or the structure. So I decided to go with The Watch That Ends the Night by Alan Wolfe. This is a historical fiction book set on the Titanic, and it is written in poetic verse from the perspectives of many people that might have been on the Titanic or actually were on the Titanic, and also things like the iceberg, which is a very interesting perspective to choose. So it is a very creative approach to telling a historical story about an historical event. Number 5, most popular, a book that has the most ratings on Goodreads. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and suppose that probably Anne of Green Gables and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe have the highest ratings. I'm gonna go with these and hope that I'm right, and these were both rereads for me last year, so they were super awesome. Number 6, most likely to succeed, a book that you will appreciate for many years to come. I discovered many new favorites in 2016, but I will say that one that really stuck with me was one of the first books that I read in 2016, and it was The Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. It is funny and sad and amusing, and the characters were really quirky. I'm definitely going to be rereading that book. Number 7, Class Clown, a book that made you laugh. Hands down, it was A Long Way Down by Nick Hornby. This book would probably be funny just in print, but it is hilarious in audiobook because I listened to it in audiobook. Now, the premise of this book sounds sad because it is about 4 people that go up on the top of a building and decide that they are going to kill themselves, but then they meet each other and then they don't really want to kill themselves in front of each other, so they decide to kind of build an unlikely bond. And I just love seeing like these really different characters work together. They have so many idiosyncrasies and things that the book became really hilarious. Number 8, Most Improved, a book that started off slow but picked up as you kept reading. I have to give this one to The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. This one definitely started off slow for me, mostly because of the setup, and so I understood why it was slow. So I really did keep going and like let it unfold, but once the story got going, it did get really exciting and have a lot of elements that were surprising and things like that. Number 9, Cutest Couple. This is a toss-up between Addie and Reese from The Two Princesses of Bamar by Gail Carson Levine, and Haley and Finn from The Impossible Knife of Memory by Laurie Halse Anderson. I fell in love with both of these books in 2016, and I also fell in love with these 2 couples. They were just my favorite couples of everything pretty much that I'd read the whole year. Number 10, Biggest Heartbreak, a book that basically just broke your heart. Now, I didn't have a book per se that really broke my heart, so I picked the book that I read that was the saddest in my opinion, and also was probably heartbreaking in the way that I read it at a very sad time of my year. And that book was The Wild Queen, The Days and Nights of Mary Queen of Scots by Carolyn Meyer. If you're looking for a happy historical fiction, you probably shouldn't read anything about Mary Queen of Scots because, let's face it, her life in its entirety was just wrought with sadness and total drama, and it could probably also win a most dramatic award, and that was just like what her real life was like. It was just misfortune after misfortune. I'm sure there were some good parts too, but so even though the book was really interesting and a very good and well put together book, was a little bit of a downer. I was reading this and The Watch That Ends the Night right around the time that one of my dogs died last year. So I think you all will understand why I set those 2 books down for a little minute and ran to Anne of Green Gables to pick myself up and then picked them up again. So in a way, Wild Queen was definitely a sad sort of time of my life as well as a sad book in itself. So that was the end of year book superlative tag, even though I guess in this case it is the last year's book superlative book tag because we're a couple weeks into this year now. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this, and I will see you later in the week. Thank you for watching. Bye!